Welcome back, my students. Today, we will discuss about nutritional programs in India. You know very well what is the value of nutrition. It increases growth, development, and also immunity against many diseases, especially corona nowadays. We should have balanced diet, and also we should take all the micronutrient, macronutrient, like micronutrient like zinc and iron, iodine, and selenium, and other many micronutrients, and macronutrients like carbohydrates, protein, and fats, and other items. Not only these things, but also metals, minerals, and sufficient water. So that is the essential importance of the nutrition. Coming to the national nutrition programs, there are 8 national nutrition programs. And we will discuss about the causes of malnutrition, goals of nutrition, policy, and the details about the nutritional programs like vitamin A prophylaxis, prophylaxis against nutritional anemia, iron deficiency disorders, and special nutrition programs, Balwadi nutrition program, ICDS program, midday meal program, midday meal scheme, and so on and so forth. So along with this, iron deficiency disorders also will take. Then suggestions for nutrition and economic issues, and also key nutrition interventions. So we will observe the problems and we will intervene to correct it. The set of interventions, especially for the promotion of infant and young children, INYCL, and maternal care and nutrition, and adolescent nutrition, control of micronutrient deficiencies, iron deficiency, anemia, and also key nutrition interventions like zinc deficiency, which is very much, especially diarrhea and also pregnancy. Then community nutrition, monitoring and evaluation of nutrition programs. Of course, how this program is going on. Does it go very well or not? Or all the people are identified and supplied the necessary nutrients. Then improvement of diet of young child, nutrition assessment schedule, balanced diet, like how much quantity, how much quality, all these things. Then suggested substitution for non-vegetarians, energy expenditure on various physical activities, range of population nutrient intake, and also goal. Measures of nutrition. So what are the nutrition measures? How you measure it? Suppose, is it well or not? Like stunting is not a good sign, and wasting also not a good sign, underweight is also not a good sign. So these are the measures of one way, the nutrition and also malnutrition. Applied nutrition program. Then monitoring evaluation of nutrition programs, and also there is annex are there like schedules and nutrient contents in various foodstuffs. Now, what are the causes of severe nutrition problem in India? And below poverty line, 27% of population is there. So most of them are vulnerable. And also underweight, less than 3 years. Children are already 47% underweight. And stunted children are 38%. Wasted children are 19%. And less than 5-year-old children, both rural and tribal, majority with malnutrition. That means more than 50% are malnourished, less than 5 years. As per National Family Health Survey, NFS 3, less than 3 years children, along with 58% of expectant mothers are with anemia, especially during 3rd trimester. Anemia in men, 24%. Nutritional blindness affects 7 million children per year in India. Couples with malnutrition, not only blindness but also malnutrition. Prevalence of conjunctival cirrhosis, Betard spot with 7.8% a month. Slum children followed by industrial labor 6.3%. So children 7.8%, labor 6.3%. And prevalence of low birth weight 26% to 57%. So urban slums are 57%, especially low birth weight. And coming to the rural, 35% and 41%. Prevalence of low birth weight. Affected by famines, droughts, floods. So these are all affected by especially low birth weight and also blindness and also vitamin A deficiency, malnutrition are affected by famines and droughts and floods. And low birth weight in case of women, it is 35% and 28% is in male. Whereas obesity, that also more than 30, also women 15%, men 12%. So both low BMI and the highest BMI also in women comparing with the men. Universal deficiency of gene in pregnant women, especially in developing countries, is very high. Coming to the national nutrition policy, what is the policy? What is the goal? The goal is to decrease the incidence rate of moderate to severe malnutrition growth among children. So they want to reduce the incidence rates of the malnutrition. Then also reduce the low birth weight incidence rates to less than 10%. And elimination of blindness due to vitamin A deficiency. There should not be any blindness at all because of the vitamin A deficiency. To decrease the iron deficiency among pregnant women to 25%. So iron deficiency in pregnant women less than 25%. That is the goal. Universal iodization of salt, but the decrease of iodine deficiency disorders to below the endemic level. Endemic level means mostly cretinism. Maybe it may be urogenic or other hypothyroid variant. Especially these are very dangerous. Special emphasis to geriatric nutrition. So geriatric means elderly people more than 70 years usually now. Then annual production of 250 million tons of food grain. So this is the aim to produce. And household food security by poverty alleviation programs. So food security for the households. Promoting appropriate diets and healthy lifestyles. So appropriate diet, not junk foods, and balanced diets and also lifestyles, healthy lifestyles, especially with minimal exercise for half an hour a day, but minimum 5 days. Then malnutrition free India. So India should be free of malnutrition. Coming to the vitamin A prophylaxis program, it is established in Ministry of Health in 1970 by Ministry of Health. One of the components of the national programs for control of blindness is to administer single massive dose of oily preparation of vitamin A containing 2 lakh international units. That means 110 milligrams of retinol formate. It is orally to preschool children in the community, and it's 6 monthly through peripheral health workers. On the basis of technology developed at the National Institute of Nutrition, NIR, Hyderabad. Evaluation revealed reduction of vitamin A deficiency in children if they take this vitamin A oral drops, 2 lakhs every 6 months. Coming to the prophylaxis against nutritional anemia. As per public health importance, serum iron concentration should be less than 0.5 milligram per liter to consider it as anemia. And also serum ferritin, that is stored iron, if it is less than 10 microgram per liter, is also considered as nutritional, initial nutritional anemia. Then transferrin, it should be 16 to 30% normal. If it is less than 16%, is considered as a beginning of nutritional anemia. Normal is more than 30% or 30%. So this is the prevalence of nutritional anemia launched by Government of India during 4 5-year plan. They want to reduce the prevalence of anemia. Strategy management. So what is the strategy to reduce the anemia? Distribution of iron folic acid, folic tablets to pregnant women less than 11 grams per deciliter, and young children 1 to 12 years to these children. So usually you know that that iron polyfed tablets contains 100 milligrams of elemental iron and 500 milligrams of micrograms of folic acid. Then, of course, it is different for pregnant and children in different doses. Organizations distributed through the service centers for implementation of the program. There are such service centers like MCH, PHC, and ICDS. The technology is iron fortification of common salt. So you have to add the iron to the salt and develop at the NIN HETPAC. Control of iron deficiency disorders. How do you control? Usually, iron deficiency causes goiter. National Goiter Control Program was launched by the Government of India in 1962 in the conventional goiter belt in the Himalayan region, otherwise called a sub-Himalayan range, with the objective of identification of goiter in weak areas and to supply iodized salt to assess the impact of goiter control measures over a period of time. Surveys revealed the problem of goiter and IDD more widespread. So goiter and also IDD. IDD deficiencies, a lot of variations of that, like cretinism, dwarfism, and also deafmutism, and also other mental deficiencies. All these things will be there. 140 million people are in no goiter endemic areas of the country. Huge population, 140 million people means. So for that, they should establish a control program for iron deficiency disorders. In 1986, it is established. The main objective is to replace the entire edible salt by iodized salt in a phased manner. So ordinary edible salt without iodine, that should be replaced by iodized salt. Coming to the Special Nutrition Program, SMP, started in 1970 for the nutritional health of the children, especially less than 6 years of age, pregnant and nursing mothers, and is in operation in urban slums, tribal areas, backward rural areas. The supplementary food supplies about 300 kilocalories and 10 to 12 grams of protein per child per day. So this is the food quantity that gives this much of calorie. That is 300 calories and quantity is 10 to 12 grams. The beneficiary mothers service daily 500 kilocalories and 25 grams of protein received. So they receive especially mothers of 25 grams of protein with 500 kilocalories of energy. Supplementation is provided to them for 300 days in a year. So in SMP, the total days are 300 per year per child or per mother. Initially central and later transferred to the state. In 5th 5-year plan, as part of MNP, that is Minimum Needs Program. The aim of SMP is to improve the nutritional status of the target group. Target group is the below 6 year children and pregnant and lactating mothers. It is merged into the ICDS program later. So SMP is merged into the ICDS program now. Coming to the Balwadi Nutrition Program, BNP. It is established in 1970 for the benefit of children in the age group of 3 to 6 years. So it is limited, not below 6 years. It is between 3 to 6 years. In rural areas, 4 national level organizations, including the ICCW, that is the Indian Council of Child Welfare, are given grants to implement this program. Day-to-day management by voluntary organizations which receive the funds. The program is implemented through the Balwadis, which also pre-primary education to these children. So before joining the primary school, this is a pre-primary education. So it will be taken care of Balwadis. The food supplements provide 300 kilocalories and 10 grams of protein per child per day. Balwadis are being phased out already now because of universalization of ICDS. So this also merged and also the services are being carried by the ICDS, Balwadis services. Coming to the ICDS program, 1975, it is established. It started in pursuance of national policy for children, A strong nutritional component is present in ICDs in the form of SNP, supplementary nutrition, vitamin A prophylaxis, iron and folic acid distribution. There are three things. One is nutrition, another is vitamin A, another is iron and folic acid. Beneficiaries are preschool children, so it is wide group. Less than 6 years old children are included. Adults and girls also included. 11 to 18 years old children, old girls, adults and girls. Then pregnant, lactating women or mothers. Now, states and union territory with more ICDs for beneficiaries are all already established. Coming to the Anganwadi workers. The workers at the village level who deliver the services are called Anganwadi workers. Each Anganwadi unit covers a population of about 400 to 800 population. Each Anganwadi unit. Many Anganwadis enter about 150 to 400 population. Then a network of Mahila Mandals are built up in ICDs, project area to help Anganwadi worker in providing health and nutrition services. So the Mahila Mandals also, they will provide health and nutrition services to the children. Coming to the work of Anganwadis is supervised by Mukhya Sevikas. So Mukhya Sevikas will supervise the Anganwadi, whereas field supervision is done by Child Development Project Officer, CDPO. So CDPO for child field supervision, Mukhya Sevikas for Anganwadi supervision. Locally available foods should be used in the ICDs. This reduces the cost of the food preparation. The menu should be changed frequently to avoid monotony. So monotony should not be there, it should be changed. Especially everyday rice, everyday meat. They will feel boredom and also may not be some balance of nutrition may be affected. Then coming to the model menu for midday meal. Midday meal model menu with foodstuff and grams per day per child. So foodstuff like cereals and millets, like 75 grams per day per child. Pulses, foodstuff 30 grams per day per child. Oils and fats 8 grams per day per child. Leafy vegetables 30 grams, non-leafy vegetables 30 grams per day per child. So this is the model menu. So that balanced diet will be supplied to the child. Model recipes of school meal prepared by IIM Hyderabad for both North Indian children and also South Indian children. Maximum of feeding days should be 250 days per year. So unlike 300 days in the previous ICDs and other things, now is only 250 days per year in the case of minimum feeding days model menu to have the desired impact on children. So the goals of midday meal program. Reorientation of feeding habits. The feeding habits should be changed to healthy feeding habits, nutritious foods. Incorporating nutrition education into the curriculum. So what is the benefit of taking different varieties of food? Then encouraging the use of local commodities, locally available. So that should be encouraged. Improving school attendance and school performance. So both are important, not only attendance but also performance. It became the part of the MNP, that is a minimum needs program in 5th 5-year plan. So coming to the midday meals scheme, it is established in 15th August. The other name is National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education. It is revised in 2004. Objective is universalization of primary education. So primary education to each and everyone by increasing enrollment, retention, and attendance. So not only enroll fresh candidates and retain them in the school and make them to attend regularly and simultaneously impacting on nutrition of students in primary classes. In the primary classes itself, they know the importance of various foodstuff and their nutritive value and the nutrition and healthy life by taking the nutritious substances. Implementation in 2008 blocks in the first year and later 97 and 98. entire country in phased manner. Midday meal scheme, 1985. Beneficiaries are school children. Here, the class-wise they are being benefited. The first to fifth class, midday meal scheme, first to fifth classes, like the ages. Now the schools, government, local body, government, aided schools, and extended in October 2002. To education guarantee scheme, the alternative and innovative education centers. So, and also education guarantee scheme, alternative and innovative education centers also is being extended. Cooked food, midday meal. So that gives 300 calories through 8 to 12 grams of protein per child. And through FCI godowns, Food Corporation of India godowns, at 100 grams per student per day, plus subsidy of transport of food grains also. So the material will be coming from the FCI godowns. Sessions for nutritional and economical midday meal program. To avoid infestation, food stored in tight containers, bins, and away from moisture. Use whole wheat or broken wheat, dalia. Broken wheat is called as dalia for preparing midday meal program. Rice either may be parboiled or unpolished. Single dish meal, SDM, like broken wheat pulao, only broken wheat pulao, single dish, or only leafy khichdi, single dish, or upama, or dal vegetables, single dish. So all these things. Contents are broken wheat, rice basmati pulses, soya beans plus seasonal vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and some edible oil. So the edible oil will be there in all these things, and combinations will be varied. Cereal pulse ratio. Usually, cereal is rice or wheat. Pulse is the you know that we call it Telugu coffee or red gram, white gram, blue gram, black gram, like this. So the cereals, white or wheat or rice, and grams, red gram, and black gram, it should be 3:1 or 5:1. Cereal pulse combination for good quality protein. You know that because of the protein limitation, they will be add each other. Sprouted pulses, good nutrients, and add to SDM, single dish meal. Sprouted pulse also you can add, and also other good nutrients also can be added. Cutting of vegetable only before washing, but not after washing of the vegetables when added to any preparation of the food. Soaking of rice, dal, bengal gram reduces cooking time. So that's why watering and also soaking in water reduces the cooking time. Wash thoroughly and soak in sufficient amount of water. And rice water, if left after cooking, add it to dal. If these are cooked separately, if it is together, already the same water will be there. Fermentation improves nutritive value, especially idli, dosa, and thukli. And cooking with the lid on, not to lose the nutrient. So it should be on, it should not be taken away. No overcooking and no reheating of oil used for frying harmful. If you use it for frying, it is very harmful, especially overcooking and also using of reheating of oil. Already reheated oil will be there, that will be stored again and again. Will use it. That is harmful. Leafy tips of carrot, radish, turnip to be utilized instead of throwing out. Iodized salt should be used for MDM preparation. This is the midday meal preparation. And key nutrition interventions are, especially for infant and young child nutrition needs. These interventions focus on children under 3 years and through the promotion of universal early nutrition within 1 hour of birth breastfeeding and exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life. So early breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, first 1 hour, first 6 months of life. Then universal timely and appropriate supplementary feeding after 6 months, along with continued breastfeeding for 2 years. So, supplementary feeding can be started after 6 months. Along with that, breastfeeding can be continued till 2 years of after birth and beyond also sometime. Universal growth monitoring and promotion of young children using mother-child package card. Who child growth standards counseling of mothers and families using MCPC, mother-child and package card. Universal access to infant and young child care, including ICDS, crutches, linkages with MG and RMG, Mahatma Gandhi guaranteed employment, with improved supplementary nutritional support and take-home ration through SDS. So through this plan, so both supplementary nutrition support will be there, and also take-home ration also will be there through the ICDS. Then enhanced care include feeding during and after illness, nutritional support, referrals, and management of severely acutely undernourished and also sick children. So both sick children and severely acute undernourished children will be taken care of by caring, feeding during and after illness, both nutritional support, referral by management of these undernourished children or sick children. Now, key nutrition intervention for infant children can be made. The set of interventions. What are the set of interventions? Improve newborn care, especially during delivery. Then care of low birth weight babies. This is also another big problem. Biannual vitamin A supplementation for children, that is between 9 to 59 months. So vitamin A biannually, that is every 6 months it should be supplied between the ages of 9 months and 59 months of age. Universal timely and complete immunization of infants against vaccine preventable diseases. So VPD. So vaccine preventable diseases, they will control the other diseases like tuberculosis and measles and diphtheria, pertussis, and also tetanus and other diseases. Then ensuring that young children receive micronutrient supplementation. So young children, they should receive micronutrients like zinc and other micronutrients like selenium and other things. Biannual deworming. So not only biannual vitamin A supplementation, biannual, that is 6 monthly deworming as per the Ministry of Health and Welfare, Family Education Guidelines. IFCA supplementation for children 6 to 59 months. So like vitamin A, iron folic acid also will be supplied between 6 to 59 months of old children, and also biannual deworming of children more than 1 year. Here, more than 1 year to 59 months. So deworming will be more than 1 year, whereas vitamin A supplementation less than 1 year, that to 9 months to 59 months. So in the biannual deworming is more than 1 year to 59 months. That's the difference. Prevention and management of common neonatal and childhood diseases such as diarrhea, acute respiratory infections. Especially during diarrhea, zinc also will be lost, and liquid also will be lost, fluid also will be lost. But the fluid and liquids, ORS, and ORS not only for fluid and liquid but also salts that will replace. Zinc replaces the last micronutrient zinc. So supplementation of zinc that reduces the loss. Then acute respiratory infections, ARI, and severe acute malnutrition at community and facility levels should be treated as per the grading of the ARI. That less than 2 months, it also 1 year, 1 year, 5 months, 5 years, like that. And you have to grade it, you have to see these signs and symptoms like acute malnutrition, also you have to see the other measurements and especially 1 year and 5 years. You have to treat accordingly. Then maternal care, health and nutrition. Interventions for antenatal care, nutrition, and include the promotion of improved supplementary nutrition. So, supplementary nutrition support should be improved during pregnancy and lactation. So, pregnancy and lactation. Then improved ANC, including health and nutrition counseling. So, ANC not only nutrition but also health and nutrition counseling should also be also family support for extra diet. So, extra diet will be supplied to the family just to ensure adequate weight gain, and also they should have the weight gain periodically. Key nutrition interventions. Iron folic acid, IFA supplementation, consumption of adequately iodized salt. So not only folic acid and iron, but also iodized salt. And also screening. Is there any iron deficiency? Is there any folic acid deficiency? So for that, management of severe anemia should be taken care. Enhanced maternity protection through the effective implementation of Prime Minister programs and other programs are there. Then ID, that is institutional deliveries, lactation management, improved postnatal care, newborn care. So these are all important. Institutional delivery, lactation management through postnatal care and newborn care. Promoting the marriage at the right age, inter-pregnancy recoupment. So between pregnancies also the women should be hale and healthy. But spacing, so there should be some spacing between births. Minimum of 2 to 3 years for 2 children. Shared care and parenting responsibilities, promoting women's literacy, empowerment of responsibility of children by themselves, self-sufficiency. Coming to the adolescent nutrition, focus on the promotion of the equal care, improved access to health care and also nutritional support. So equal care of the child, girl child especially, at different stages of development of the life cycle. So at each stage they will be vulnerable, they are now also vulnerable, that should not be there. So equal care should be given to the each and every girl child in India. Improved access to health care, counseling support through school health program. So through school health program also it should be taken care, not only at the house and also community. Then ASH, that is the ASHA program, and also deworming as per Minister of Health and Family Welfare. National Deworming Initiative as per the, the drugs, how it should be given. Then improved access to nutritional support through MHRD, that is the midday meal school, and through Sabala. Sabala means strong woman. To become strong woman, the school girls and also out of schools also the girls will be there, and inside schools also girls will be there. So both type of categories of girls should be taken care of in the school, out of the school, through the Rajiv Gandhi scheme for empowerment of adolescent girls. That is Rajiv Gandhi scheme for empowerment of adolescent girls, RGSEAG. Centrally sponsored program of Government of India, GOI, Government of India, initiated on 1/4/2011 under Ministry of Women and Child Development, WLC. Key nutrition interventions. Universal access of girls in school and girls out of school, IFA supplementation. Girls education, skill development and female literacy. Changing gender constructs, gender sensitization and life skills for adolescents. So each gender should be taken care, especially girl child and girl students, and they should be taken care of, especially education, life skills for adolescents. No child marriage of young women after the age of 18 years only. Key nutrition interventions: control of micronutrient deficiencies or vitamin and mineral deficiency, already in NHM, National Health Mission, we already covered, and along with the RMNCH plus A adolescent, that is the RMNCH means reproductive, maternal, newborn, child health plus adolescent care. National Program for Control of Vitamin D Deficiencies. So, to all these things, the micro deficiencies and vitamin and mineral deficiencies will be taken care. First, breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth and exclusive breastfeeding EBF till 6 months of life. Then complementary feeding CF after 6 months. Continue breastfeeding till 2 years of age. So this is the initial micronutrient deficiency taken care. Dietary diversification and increased vitamin A intake through behavior change communication, BCC. So because of the behavior change, the communication will be very effective to increase intake of vitamin A. And the increased production and consumption of vitamin A. That's also very important, because unless you produce, you cannot consume. Vitamin A rich foods like keratin rich yellow, orange fruits, vegetables, and others. These are very, very important, especially during Corona, a pandemic now. It is very, very, very useful to take all these orange fruits, vegetables, keratin rich yellow, vitamin C, and also other millets and other many other useful nutrients. Vitamin A supplementation as per Ministry of Health and Family Welfare guidelines. So the supplementation of vitamin A as per the guidelines. Public health interventions, common public health interventions are measles vaccination, control of diarrheal diseases through adequate access to safe drinking water and sanitation. And the very useful is integrated program approach, not only single program, but all the programs together, and appropriately, proportionately should be applied. Key nutrition interventions are more. Iron deficiency anemia, as outlined in National Health Mission, RMNCH plus A, NNAP, INAP, especially Indian newborn care, and also National Nutritional Anemia Prophylaxis Control, NNAP and C. The major interventions are optimal infant and child feeding practices for young children, that is ICFP. YCFP, that is not ICFP, YCFP, that is young child feeding practices for young children, especially with optimal dietary diversification, intake of iron and folate rich, especially dark green leafy vegetables, DCLV, and vegetables, and that promote iron absorption are rich in vitamin C. So this is also very important. In this difficult period, vitamin C is also very important. IFE, the supplementation of iron folic acid as per Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, as per the iron plus guidelines, you know that 100 grams of elementary iron, 500 micrograms of folic acid per minute. Biannual deworming as per Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Fortification of and introduction of iron and iodine fortified salt. So both iron and iodine fortified salt in ICDS and MDM with IDD control program, promotion of conventional plant breeding. So not only consuming and also, but for production also, we should have conventional plant breeding and original research to develop indigenous with increased micronutrients varieties of food items. So increased micronutrient varieties of food items. And health and nutrition education to increase the optimal feeding practices and consumption of iron folate rich foods to promote iron absorption rich in vitamin C. So the feeding practices in such a way they should contain vitamin C more, so that vitamin C helps in absorption of iron and use of iron fortified iodized salt, so that iron deficiency won't be there, and iodide deficiency won't be there, so that no cretinism, no thyroid, no other hypothyroid effects. SDM, screening, detection, and management. So you have screened the children and also women, detecting any deficiencies, manage appropriately with treatment. IFA, supplementation to vulnerable groups. Who are vulnerable groups? Preschool children, adults and girls. So preschool children, adults and girls are vulnerable to iron folic acid deficiencies, though that should be supplemented. Screening for early detection of anemia among vulnerable groups, pregnant women. So screening is essential for pregnant women because they are in pregnancy that affect both the mother and the child. That's why they should be screened, appropriately detected. Is it mild, moderate, severe? Accordingly, the management as per the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. You cannot give any drugs as we like. You should avoid certain stages. Appropriate management of anemia depending on its severity. So management as per the severity of the anemia, and also chronicity. How chronic it is? Is it 1 year, 6 months, or lifelong? I mean, since birth. Then physiological. Does there any presence of sickle cell anemia and also other things? You have to exclude. Physiological status of the individual and the time available for correction of anemia. So what is the status? What is the time available for correction of anemia? And PHM, public health measures to hygiene and sanitation. Like hookworm infestation, we have to reduce the hookworm infestation, and we have to take measures to control the malaria spread and also presence. Key nutrition interventions, especially gene deficiency, as outlined in the National Health Mission and RMNCH+A, the national program, the major interventions will be the use of ORS with zinc, supplementation for diarrheal management. So zinc applies a lot, especially along with the ORS during diarrhea. Community nutrition, ensuring universal access to safe drinking water supply and sanitation and hygiene for open defecation free environment, ODF. Generally, we call it as ODF through Swachh Bharat. So now already India is a ODF country. There is open defecation free country. Prevention and treatment of malaria through the use of bed nets and or intermittent preventive therapy for malaria. So you should have the bed nets in your household, but especially the beds, so that they can protect you from the biting of the mosquitoes. And so there are some protocols also in malaria endemic areas. Facilitating mosquito control measures. You have to facilitate the mosquito control measures. Then key nutrition intervention for community nutrition, other relevant health and disease control measures specific for the state, district, relevant for improving nutrition at community levels. So especially disease controls like Japanese encephalitis, Kala-Azar. So that will be variable geographically. Ensuring access to household food security, social protection systems, safety nets. Nutrition education to ensure that feeding and caring practices, dietary diversity, nutritious foods, sanitation and hygiene, healthy lifestyles are promoted, addressing the undernutrition and also the dual burden of malnutrition. So dual burden will be there because of the food and also sanitation and healthy lifestyles. Address multiple nutritional vulnerabilities related to seasonal distress, disease outbreaks, natural disasters. So multiple nutritional vulnerabilities because of all these things. Flexible response to the needs. You should be flexible, not very rigid. Then what about the monitoring and evaluation? We already instituted screened, detected, managed, give some food items which are useful, for the appropriate management. So then you have to monitor. What about your measures? Are they effective or ineffective? How much percentage of people have got it? And what is the operational feasibilities, operational problems? For that, monitoring and evaluation. Effective planning is needed. Monitoring and evaluation feedback of health programs is needed. Randomized control trials for the evaluation of the effectiveness and efficacy. So randomly you have to take some samples in the area. So control trials with or without the nutrition. So suppose without nutrition, how about the disease? With nutrition, how about the disease? Is it less or more at the same time? So we should have some randomized control trials for efficiency of healthcare programs. Then improvement of diet of and child. By improvement of the family diet, feeding more than 100 million children. And for that, we cannot feed regularly like a program unless the socioeconomic status is improved, which can afford balanced diet. Then only if the socioeconomic status improves, only that will take care of the balanced diet for 100 million children. Organized state-sponsored feeding programs cannot be the permanent answer, as we discussed now. Unless the socioeconomic status improves, just if you feed them, it is of permanently, it cannot be any use. Nutrition assessment schedule. So there is a schedule is there, like basic information you can get. You have to get the household or the individual as per the case. Then clinical examination of the individuals, anthropometric examination of the individual, laboratory like hemoglobin stools for ankylostomiosis, amoebiasis, giardiasis, so spondyloids. For these things you have to so search, and also HB for any anemia is there. So any presence of organism and the outcome of the HB. Blood smear, is it negative or positive for malaria or filaria and other things. Then balanced diets, quantities in grams. So for adult man and adult woman, for children, boys and girls. So especially for adult man, small medium height SMH, and adult woman is a small medium height, and for children less than 6 to 12 years and 1 to 3 years and 4 to 6 years. So children 1 to 3 years and 4 to 6 years, boys and girls 10 to 12 years both. So adult women small and medium heavy. For small, you have to supply 460 grams of cereals, medium for 520 grams of cereals, heavy 670 grams of cereals, like that, all the things. But for children less than 1 to 3 years and 4 to 6 years. 1 to 3 years and 4 to 6 years. 1 to 3 years is 175 grams, and 4 to 6 years 270 grams. Whereas for boys, 12 years and girls and 12 years 420 and 380. It's 10 to 12 years. So leafy vegetables, other vegetables, fruits and tubers, milk, oil, oil and fat, sugar or chocolate. So, and as per the category, adult man, adult woman, sedentary, medium and heavy. S is sedentary and M is medium, H is heavy, and children 1 to 3 year group, and another group is 4 to 6 years, boys and girls, only one group, that is 10 to 12 years, 10 to 12 years. So along with that, the required grams are given here, you have to check. Then suggested substitution for non-vegetarians. Those who are taking non-vegetarian, that is the other egg or meat or fish, they can be supplied with pulses. Good item that can be deleted from non-vegetarian diet, substitutions are suggested for deleted item. 50% of pulses, 20 to 30 grams. For 1 egg or for 30 grams of meat or fish, add 5 grams of fat and oil along with this 50% of pulses, 20 to 30 grams. Then 110% of pulses, that is to egg, and also 50 grams of meat or fish. So like this is already given in the textbooks, but for your sake, I have shown you all these things. Food item during pregnancy, the calories that supplies, during lactation, the calories that supplies. So accordingly, for calories 293 for pregnancy total, and during lactation total calories of 521 for all the items, cereals, pulses, milk, fat, sugar. Then energy expenditure on various physical activities. Activity, cleaning and mopping, gardening, watching TV, cycling, 15 km per hour. So calories are for cleaning by 210, gardening 300 calories per hour, and that will be spent if you do all these exercises. Watching TV, 86, just watching TV also you use 86 kcal per hour. And if you cycle for 15 kilometers per hour, you will lose by 360 kilocalories, that much of spent of energy. And shuttle 348 kilocalories per hour. Table tennis 245 kilocalories per hour. Tennis 392 kilocalories per hour. And volleyball 180. So for all the activities, tennis to 392. And the lowest is the, I think, 86, watching TV. So we should reduce this watching TV. More of other items for if you want to do physical activities. Energy expenditure on various physical activities. Running 12 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers, and 6 kilometers. Then walking 4 kilometers and 160 kilocalories per hour. And for all these things that are given in the textbook, you can look after these things. Then dietary factor. Goal is percent of total unless otherwise stated. This is total fat is 15.3%, and saturated fat is 10%, and polyunsaturated fatty acids are 6 to 10%, and the N6 polyunsaturated fatty acids 5 to 8%, N3 polyunsaturated fatty acids 1 to 2%. Total fatty acids are less than 1%. Then MUFAS, there is monounsaturated fatty acids. The monounsaturated fatty acids are dangerous, but polyunsaturated fatty acids good, but healthy. Dietary factor. Total carbohydrates are 55 to 75%, less than 105. Free sugar less than 10%, protein 10 to 50%, cholesterol less than 300 milligrams per day, sodium chloride less than 5 grams. So that's dietary fiber. Dietary fiber should be and must be there every day, 30 grams per day one should take. So all this given the same thing, the percentage of total energy available after consumption of fat and protein, and free sugars like monosaccharides, disaccharides, the sugars naturally present in honey and syrup and fruit juices. So honey and so all these free sugars better to limit because it will increase the only glucose levels. The salt should be iodized appropriately. Need to adjust salt iodization depends on observed sodium intake and surveillance of iodine status. So how much sodium intake is there? Is less than 5 grams or more than 5 grams and per head, and surveillance of iodine status in the population. Is the iodine status is normal or abnormal or lower normal? So what are the measures of nutrition? So if you want to measure the nutrition, how you can measure? By measuring the stunting, wasting, and the weight. Stunting is a deficit in height for age, HFA. So this affects the linear growth, it retarded. So the definition is more than 2 standard deviation below the median of the difference population in terms for health for age. So that is the more than 2 standard deviation below the median of the reference population for any measure. And due to chronic malnutrition, inadequate nutrition, or a long period of time, or from chronic or recurrent diarrhea. These are the causes, that is the definition. Now, definition of wasting. It is the readiness of children and prevalence of acute malnutrition. So, it is an acute malnutrition. So, usually the stunting is chronic malnutrition. So, wasting is deficit in the weight for height. This is WFH, that is HFA. Weight for height is wasting, acute malnutrition. Maybe due to seasonal variation of food supply and recent episodes of illness prior to investigation. Then underweight. It is difficult to weight. It is a deficit in weight. So deficit in weight for age, deficit in weight for height, deficit in height for age, as per the definitions. So underweight definition is deficit in weight for age in children. Elements of both stunting and wasting. So both acute and chronic. Both stunting and wasting in the underweight. Only stunting is there, height for age. Only wasting is there, weight for height. Height for age, weight for height, weight for height. But both stunting and wasting in underweight. Measures, stunting, health for height for age. It is deficit in height for age, linear growth retardation to do standard deviation will be the reference population in terms of HFA, health for height for age. Due to chronic malnutrition, inadequate nutrition over long period of time, not from chronic or recurrent diarrhea, same as by wasting weight for height, deficit weight for height, underweight weight for age in children, deficit in weight for age. Then what is standard deviation? There are these three measures of nutrition are expressed in standard deviation or standard units in terms of Z scores from the median for the international reference population. So median of the reference population. Standard deviation is more than 2 standard deviation below the median of the reference population for any measure. That's called as standard deviation. And undernutrition, undernourished, those children who are more than 2 standard below the reference media on any of the indices. So underweight is both wasting and stunting. Undernourished is either underweight or wasting or stunting. So that is the more than 2 standard deviation below the reference median on any of the indices. So coming to the applied nutrition program, 1963 in Odisha, extended to Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. So it's only limited to Odisha and other things. So you can read it, objective, promoting protection and production of vegetables and fruits and ensure the consumption by nursing and pregnant mothers and children in 1973. That's to all the country now. Nutrition education is the main focus, and the objectives of beneficiaries from children 2 to 6 years, pregnant and lactating women. How much money you have to spend? No, very, very less, like 25 paisa per child per day. For women, it is 50 paisa per day for women for 52 days per year. So yearly, only 52 days. Aim is to provide better seeds, encourage kitchen gardens, poultry farming, and beehive keeping. Failure is due to lack of suitable land. So it is a failure now because land is not available, irrigation facilities are not available, finances is low. Then effective planning and monitoring and evaluation of health programs is done successfully. But the evaluation of effectiveness and efficiency RCT is better where there is no trial. Building provision for monitoring and evaluation feedback. Then improving family diet and infant diet can be improved if you improve the family diet. And improve the socio-economic conditions and the nutritional status of the undernourished children will be improved. And this can be achieved also the balanced diet at the family level. Nutritional assessment schedule and balanced diets already have in the annexes will be there. Session substitute for non-vegetarians, additional allowances for pregnant and lactation, exercise and physical activity. Approximate calorie values of cooked preparations ranges of population. So these are all annexes that are already available in the textbooks, and you can go through the tables. You will have an idea, and we will meet again in the next class. And thank you very much, and good luck to read all these things.